Hey there, have you ever found yourself telling a story that just, well, sticks? One of those tales that everyone hangs on to every word, and days later they're still buzzing about it? Imagine if every idea we shared had that kind of power. It's not just about being interesting, it's about being unforgettable. And that, my friends, is the magic of sticky ideas. Now, think about this. There's an urban legend about a guy who wakes up in a bathtub full of ice, only to discover a note saying his kidney's been stolen. Wild, right? But why do we remember it? Why does it stick? Today, we're diving headfirst into the world of ideas that capture our imagination and refuse to let go. We're going to crack open the secrets behind why some ideas become viral sensations while others just fade into the background. And we're doing that with the help of a fantastic book called Made to Stick: Why Some Ideas Survive and Others Die by the dynamic duo Chip and Dan Heath. But wait, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let me share a quick story. Picture this: Southwest Airlines. Now, airlines aren't exactly known for their warm and fuzzy customer service, right? Yet, Southwest managed to stand out with a core message so simple it changed the game. Their idea? We are the low-cost airline. Simple yet powerful, and it stuck like glue. So, what's the secret sauce? The Heath brothers break it down into a framework that's so straightforward, even my cat could understand it. Okay, maybe not, but you get the idea. Let's start with a classic example. Remember JFK's speech about putting a man on the moon? It wasn't just inspiring. It was simple, clear, and, most importantly, it stuck. Then there's the Will It Blend campaign. A blender company decides to blend everything from iPhones to marbles, and suddenly, everyone's talking about it. Why? Because it was unexpected, and it grabbed our attention. Now, you might be wondering, how can I make my ideas stick? Well, that's where the fun begins. We'll explore how the Heath brothers framework can transform any idea from forgettable to unforgettable. But hold on to your hats, because we're just scratching the surface. We're going to dig into personal stories, share some laughs, and maybe even have a few aha moments along the way. And don't worry, I promise to keep it as simple as explaining it to a 12-year-old, which, let's be honest, is sometimes how I feel when I try to understand complex ideas. So are you ready to explore the world of sticky ideas and unlock the power to make your messages unforgettable? Let's do this together. Stay tuned, because what you're about to discover could change the way you think about ideas forever. And hey, if you've ever had an idea that just wouldn't stick, drop a comment below. We might just turn it into a case study right here on the channel. Let's make those ideas stick. Chapter 1. Simplicity. The core of stickiness. Welcome to the first chapter of our deep dive into the elements that make ideas sticky, memorable, and impactful. Today, we're exploring the principle of simplicity, a fundamental ingredient in the recipe for creating ideas that stick. Just as a chef would simplify a complex dish to its essential flavors to make it unforgettable, crafting a message or idea that resonates deeply often requires paring it down to its core. So, let's embark on this journey to understand the power of simplicity. Imagine you're at a dinner party, and someone asks you about your work. You start explaining the intricate details, the jargon, the complexities, and halfway through, you notice that your audience's eyes have glazed over. They're polite, nodding, but you can tell they're lost. This is what happens when we overload our message with complexity. We lose people. This is the curse of knowledge. The challenge of conveying something we know well to someone who doesn't. It's like trying to describe a color to someone who's never seen it. The solution: simplicity. But simplicity isn't about dumbing things down. It's about finding the essence, the core message that is both profound and accessible. Let me share a story that illustrates this beautifully. Remember the Got Milk campaign? Simple, yet incredibly effective. It didn't delve into the nutritional benefits of calcium or the complex science behind lactose. Instead, it tapped into a universal experience. The frustration of running out of milk just when you need it most, perhaps for your morning cereal or to complement a freshly baked cookie. The campaign's genius was in its simplicity. It didn't need to explain why milk was essential. It showed us through relatable situations, making it memorable and sticky. This is the power of simplicity. It cuts through the noise and resonates with people on a fundamental level. To achieve this, we must strip away the layers, like an archaeologist carefully removing the dirt to reveal the artifact beneath. We must find the core message, the heart of what we're trying to communicate. Consider the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. It's a principle found in nearly every culture and religion, a testament to its universal appeal. Why has it endured for centuries? Because it's simple yet profound. It doesn't require a deep understanding of ethics or philosophy. It's a straightforward guideline for how to treat others, and its simplicity makes it accessible and memorable. How do we find this core message in our own ideas? First, we must identify what's essential and discard the rest. Imagine you're a sculptor, and your idea is a block of marble. Your task is to chisel away everything that isn't necessary until only the essence remains. This process requires clarity and discipline, but the result is a message that resonates deeply. Let's look at Proverbs, those timeless nuggets of wisdom passed down through generations. Proverbs like, "A stitch in time saves 9," or "Don't count your chickens before they hatch," are powerful because they're simple. They encapsulate complex ideas into a few words, making them easy to remember and apply. Proverbs are sticky because they deliver profound insights in a digestible format. Another example of simplicity at work is Google's homepage. In a digital world cluttered with information, Google stands out for its minimalist design. When you visit Google, you're not bombarded with ads or an overload of features. Instead, you see a clean, simple interface with one primary function: the search bar. This simplicity makes it accessible to users of all ages and technical abilities. It's sticky because it eliminates distractions and focuses on what's essential, finding information quickly and efficiently. So, how can we apply this principle of simplicity to our own ideas and messages? Start by asking yourself what the core message is. What's the one thing you want people to remember? Once you've identified it, look for ways to express it simply and directly. Use stories, metaphors, or examples to make it relatable and memorable. Remember, simplicity is not about diluting your message. It's about distilling it to its most potent form. In conclusion, simplicity is the core of stickiness. It's what makes ideas accessible, memorable, and impactful. Whether you're crafting a marketing campaign, developing a product, or sharing a message with the world, remember the power of simplicity. Strip away the unnecessary, focus on the essential, and watch your ideas stick in the minds and hearts of your audience. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of simplicity, and stay tuned for our next chapter, where we'll delve into another principle of stickiness. Until then, keep it simple. Chapter 2: Unexpectedness, Capturing Attention. Welcome back to our exploration of what makes ideas stick, and today we're diving deep into the world of the unexpected. Imagine you're walking down a street, and suddenly, out of nowhere, a flash mob starts dancing. Your attention is immediately captured. Isn't it? This is the power of the unexpected. It's a potent tool that can transform the mundane into the memorable. And in this chapter, we'll uncover why unexpectedness works, how to create surprise, and the art of maintaining interest. Let's start with why unexpectedness works. Our brains are wired to notice changes and patterns. When something breaks a pattern, it stands out. This is known as the schema violation. A schema is a mental framework that helps us organize and interpret information. When something violates these schemas, it grabs our attention. This is why unexpected events are so effective at capturing our interest. They break the monotony and force us to pay attention. So, how do we create surprise? One way is through contrast. Imagine a quiet library. Suddenly, someone starts singing. That's contrast. It's unexpected, and it makes you look up from your book. Another technique is to violate expectations. Take the movie The Sixth Sense as an example. The film leads you to believe one thing throughout, only to reveal a shocking twist at the end. This violation of expectations leaves a lasting impression. Let's dive into the story of The Blair Witch Project. When it was released in 1999, it was marketed as found footage of 3 student filmmakers who disappeared in the woods. Audiences went in expecting a traditional horror movie but instead found a raw, documentary-style film. This unexpected approach not only intrigued viewers but also created a buzz that propelled the film to success. The movie's low budget and unconventional marketing made its success even more surprising, demonstrating how the power of the unexpected can lead to extraordinary outcomes. Now, let's talk about maintaining interest. Once you've grabbed someone's attention with the unexpected, how do you keep them engaged? One way is through storytelling. Stories naturally build anticipation and keep us hooked. Think about the use of cliffhangers in TV shows. They leave us on the edge of our seats, eager to find out what happens next. This is the principle of unresolved tension, which compels us to seek closure. Consider Apple's Think Different campaign. It was unexpected in its simplicity and its message. At a time when technology companies focused on specs and features, Apple celebrated the spirit of innovation and creativity. The campaign featured black and white images of iconic figures like Albert Einstein, Martin Luther King Jr., and Amelia Earhart, with the tagline Think Different. It didn't talk about the product at all. Instead, it aligned Apple with the idea of challenging the status quo. This unexpected approach made the campaign memorable and helped Apple stand out in a crowded market. To illustrate the power of maintaining interest, let's explore the concept of curiosity gaps. A curiosity gap is the space between what we know and what we want to know. When there's a gap, we're motivated to fill it. This is why teasers and trailers are so effective. They give us just enough information to pique our interest, but not enough to satisfy our curiosity. By strategically withholding information, you can keep your audience engaged and eager for more. Let's circle back to storytelling. One of the most powerful tools in maintaining interest is the use of narrative arcs. A narrative arc is the structure of a story, typically consisting of a beginning, middle, and end. Within this structure, you can introduce unexpected twists and turns to keep your audience engaged. This is why books, movies, and even advertisements often follow a narrative arc. It's a proven method to hold attention and make ideas stick. In conclusion, unexpectedness is a powerful tool in capturing and maintaining attention. By leveraging contrast, violating expectations, and creating curiosity gaps, you can make your ideas not only stick but also resonate with your audience. Remember, the world is full of predictable patterns. When you break those patterns, you create memorable experiences that leave a lasting impact. So, go ahead, embrace the unexpected, and watch as your ideas transform from forgettable to unforgettable. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of unexpectedness. In the next chapter, we'll delve into another crucial element of making ideas stick: concreteness. Stay tuned, and let's continue this journey together. Chapter 3, Concreteness, Making Ideas Tangible. Welcome back to our exploration of what makes ideas stick. Today, we're diving deep into the concept of concreteness, which is all about making ideas tangible and relatable. In this chapter, we will explore the role of concreteness in communication, how to transform abstract ideas into concrete ones, and the powerful impact of sensory language. We'll draw inspiration from the vivid imagery in Martin Luther King Jr. speeches and the timeless lessons in Aesop's fables. We'll also examine how companies like FedEx and Nike use concreteness to create memorable and impactful messages. So, let's get started. Imagine you're tasked with explaining the concept of freedom to a group of young students. How would you do it? You could start with a dictionary definition, but that's abstract and doesn't resonate emotionally. Instead, what if you painted a picture of a bird soaring through the sky, unencumbered by cages or chains? Suddenly, the concept of freedom becomes vivid and tangible. This is the essence of concreteness. Concreteness is about taking abstract ideas and making them relatable by connecting them to our senses and experiences. It involves using specific details and vivid imagery to help others see, hear, feel, and even taste your idea. When we make ideas concrete, they become easier to understand, remember, and share. Let's consider why concreteness is so powerful. Firstly, concreteness helps us understand complex ideas. Our brains are wired to process concrete information more easily than abstract concepts. Think about the difference between saying, "Our company values efficiency," versus our company ensures every project is completed within 24 hours. The latter is concrete, specific, and paints a clear picture of what efficiency means in practice. Secondly, concreteness enhances memory. When information is tied to sensory details, it becomes more memorable. Have you ever noticed how you can recall a smell or a taste from your childhood more vividly than abstract facts? That's because our senses are powerful memory triggers. Lastly, concreteness fosters emotional connections. When we describe something in concrete terms, we appeal to our audience's emotions and experiences, making the message more relatable and impactful. Now, let's explore how to make abstract ideas concrete. One effective strategy is to use analogies and metaphors. These literary devices help bridge the gap between the unknown and the familiar. For example, when explaining the concept of the internet, you might say it's like a vast library where you can find information on almost any topic. This analogy transforms an abstract technological concept into something familiar and tangible. Another strategy is to use storytelling. Stories are inherently concrete because they involve characters, settings, and actions that we can visualize and relate to. Consider the power of Aesop's fables, where moral lessons are embedded in simple, relatable stories. The tale of the tortoise and the hare, for instance, conveys the abstract concept of perseverance through the concrete actions of a slow tortoise who wins a race against a swift hare. Sensory language is another powerful tool for making ideas concrete. By describing sights, sounds, smells, textures, and tastes, you can create a vivid experience for your audience. Think about Martin Luther King Jr.'s speeches, particularly his famous "I Have a Dream" speech. King didn't just talk about equality and justice. He painted a picture of a future where little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. This imagery made his vision concrete and emotionally compelling. Now, let's look at how companies use concreteness in their messaging. FedEx, for instance, made a concrete promise with their slogan, "When it absolutely, positively has to be there overnight." This statement is specific and tangible, leaving no room for ambiguity. Customers know exactly what to expect. Reliable, overnight delivery. Nike's iconic "Just Do It" campaign is another example of concreteness. While the phrase is simple, it embodies a tangible goal: taking action. It's not just about the abstract idea of motivation. It's about the concrete act of doing something, whether it's running a marathon or taking the first step toward a new goal. In conclusion, concreteness is a powerful tool for making ideas stick. By transforming abstract concepts into tangible experiences, we can enhance understanding, memory, and emotional connection. Whether through vivid imagery, storytelling, or sensory language, making ideas concrete helps them resonate deeply with our audience. So, the next time you're crafting a message, ask yourself, how can I make this idea tangible? How can I paint a picture that others can see, feel, and remember? By doing so, you'll create messages that not only stick but inspire action and change. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of concreteness. Hope these insights inspire you to make your ideas more tangible and impactful. Until next time, keep creating, keep sharing, and most importantly, keep making your ideas stick. Chapter 4: Credibility, Building Trust. Welcome to Chapter 4 of our exploration into making ideas stick. Today, we're diving into the critical topic of credibility and how it plays a significant role in ensuring your message not only resonates but also compels action. Imagine you're at a crossroads deciding which path to take. On one side, you have a person whose words are empty, lacking any form of credibility. On the other stands someone whose every word is backed by trust, authority, and a track record of reliability. Which path would you choose? The answer is obvious. The path illuminated by credibility is the one that leads to belief and action. Let's uncover why credibility is so vital and how you can establish it in your communications. Credibility isn't just an added bonus. It's the foundation upon which the acceptance of your ideas is built. It's what makes your audience nod in agreement, willing to follow your lead. To understand credibility, we need to delve into its elements. First, there's expertise. This is about showing that you have the knowledge and experience in your field. It's about demonstrating that you've done your homework and you're not just throwing ideas into the wind. The second element is trustworthiness. This is about being honest, transparent, and having the audience's best interests at heart. Together, expertise and trustworthiness form the bedrock of credibility. Now, let's talk about enhancing credibility. One powerful way is through the use of stories and testimonials. Imagine the anti-smoking campaign featuring the Marlboro Man. Here was a figure synonymous with rugged masculinity and smoking, yet he succumbed to lung cancer. The campaign used his story to shatter the illusion that smoking was harmless. It was a stark reminder that even the toughest could fall victim to the dangers of smoking. This story had a profound impact because it was real, relatable, and it came from an unexpected source, an anti-authority. This leads us to another critical aspect of credibility: the role of anti-authorities. Anti-authorities are individuals who challenge the status quo, often coming from unexpected backgrounds. They are credible because their experiences and stories are so compelling and authentic that they cannot be ignored. Take, for example, a former smoker who now advocates for lung health. Their journey from addiction to advocacy lends them a level of credibility that is hard to match. It's their personal experience, their battle scars, that make their message resonate. Let's shift gears and talk about Warren Buffett's annual letters to Berkshire Hathaway shareholders. These letters are masterclasses in building credibility. Buffett's candid and straightforward communication style, coupled with his unparalleled track record, has built a fortress of trust around him. His letters are not just financial reports. They are stories that educate, entertain, and enlighten. They are filled with anecdotes, lessons, and Buffett's trademark wit. By being authentic and transparent, Buffett has become one of the most trusted voices in the financial world. Now, let's explore the power of testimonials, statistics, and expert endorsements in enhancing credibility. Testimonials are powerful because they provide social proof. When real people vouch for a product or idea, it lends credibility. It's like having a friend tell you, "Hey, I tried this, and it worked wonders for me." Statistics, on the other hand, provide a quantitative basis for credibility. They offer hard evidence that your claims are not just anecdotal but are backed by data. However, it's crucial to use statistics judiciously and ethically. Misleading or cherry-picked data can erode trust faster than anything else. Expert endorsements are another tool in your credibility toolkit. When a respected authority in a field endorses your message, it's like getting a seal of approval. It tells your audience that your idea has been vetted and found credible by someone who knows what they're talking about. However, it's important that these endorsements are genuine and that the experts are truly knowledgeable about your subject matter. In conclusion, credibility is the bridge between your message and the belief and action of your audience. It's built through expertise, trustworthiness, and the strategic use of stories, testimonials, statistics, and expert endorsements. Remember the Marlboro Man and Warren Buffett. Both exemplify how credibility can be established in different ways. Whether through the raw authenticity of personal stories or the transparency of annual letters, credibility ensures that your ideas not only stick but also inspire action. As we move forward, consider how you can weave these elements into your communications. Think about the stories you can share, the data you can present, and the experts you can collaborate with to enhance your credibility. Building trust isn't just about telling your audience to believe in you. It's about showing them why they should. And when they do, your ideas will not only resonate but also become a catalyst for change. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of credibility. Until next time, keep building trust and making your ideas stick. Chapter 5. Emotions, the heart of the matter. Welcome back to our journey into the art of making ideas stick. Today, we're diving into the core of human experience, emotions. Emotions have an unparalleled power to connect us, to make us feel seen and understood, and to transform simple messages into resonating truths. We'll explore how emotional appeals can make ideas stick by connecting with people on a deeper level. Imagine a world where every interaction was purely factual, devoid of any emotional nuance. It would be a very different place, wouldn't it? Our emotions are the invisible threads that weave the fabric of our society, influencing our decisions, shaping our relationships, and guiding our actions. When we tap into this powerful force, we open up avenues for our ideas to not only be heard but to be felt. Let's begin by understanding the power of emotions. Emotions are not just fleeting feelings. They are the drivers of our behavior. Think about the last time you made a decision. Was it purely rational or were emotions involved? Chances are emotions played a significant role. Whether it's the joy of a new purchase or the fear of missing out, emotions guide us in ways that logic alone cannot. So, how do we evoke emotions in our audience? The key lies in storytelling. Stories have the unique ability to transport us into another world, to make us feel what the characters feel. They bypass our analytical minds and speak directly to our hearts. By crafting stories that resonate with our audience's experiences, we can evoke a wide range of emotions, from joy and excitement to empathy and compassion. Now, let's talk about empathy, the ability to understand and share the feelings of another. Empathy is the bridge that connects us to others, allowing us to see the world through their eyes. When we communicate with empathy, we create a safe space for our audience to engage with our ideas, knowing that we understand and respect their emotions. To illustrate the power of emotional appeals, let's look at some compelling stories. One of the most memorable campaigns in recent years is the Dove Real Beauty campaign. This campaign challenged traditional beauty standards by featuring women of all ages, shapes, and sizes. It tapped into the universal desire to be accepted and loved for who we are. By showcasing real women and their stories, Dove evoked emotions of empathy, empowerment, and self-acceptance, making their message not only stick but resonate deeply with millions around the world. Charity advertisements often use heart-wrenching stories to evoke emotions and spur action. Consider the advertisements that show the plight of children in war-torn countries or the struggles of families affected by natural disasters. These stories tug at our heartstrings, making us feel the pain and urgency of the situation. They remind us of our shared humanity and inspire us to help in any way we can. Now, let's explore some examples where emotional connections have led to remarkable success. The Share a Coke campaign is a brilliant example of how personalization can evoke joy and connection. By replacing the Coca-Cola logo with popular names, the campaign turned a simple act of sharing a drink into a personal experience. People were thrilled to find their names or the names of their loved ones on a bottle, creating a sense of delight and connection that went viral. Another example is the Humans of New York project, which started as a simple photo blog capturing the lives of New Yorkers. What set it apart was the empathy-driven storytelling that accompanied each photograph. Brandon Stanton, the creator, shared the personal stories of his subjects, highlighting their struggles, triumphs, and dreams. These stories, often raw and deeply moving, resonated with people worldwide, turning Humans of New York into a global phenomenon. The project not only showcased the power of empathy but also demonstrated how emotional connections can build a community and drive social change. As we wrap up this chapter, remember that emotions are not just tools for persuasion. They are the heart of our human experience. By understanding and tapping into the emotional landscape of our audience, we can create messages that resonate deeply, stick in their minds, and inspire action. Whether you're crafting a marketing campaign, a charity appeal, or a personal story, let emotions be your guide. Connect with your audience on a deeper level and watch your ideas transform into powerful forces of change. Thank you for joining me in exploring the heart of the matter. Let's carry these insights forward as we continue our journey into the fascinating world of making ideas stick. Chapter 6: Stories, the Ultimate Sticky Medium. Welcome back, dear listeners. Today, we're diving into a subject that's as old as humanity itself: stories. The art of storytelling has been an integral part of human culture for millennia, and for good reason. Stories are not just a form of entertainment. They are a powerful tool for making ideas stick. In this chapter, we're going to explore the universality of stories, how to structure a sticky story, and the role of characters and plot. We'll also delve into some compelling examples, such as the enduring legacy of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series and the stickiness of the Harry Potter saga. We'll even touch on the narrative power of TED Talks and the storytelling in Apple's product launches. So, let's get started. Picture this. You're sitting around a campfire, the flickering flames casting shadows that dance in the darkness. Someone begins to speak, weaving tales of heroes and monsters, of love and loss. The night deepens, but no one stirs. Everyone is captivated. This scene is not just a relic of the past. It's a testament to the universality of stories. From ancient myths to modern movies, stories transcend time and culture. They are the threads that connect us, the medium through which we share our values, dreams, and fears. But what makes stories so sticky? Why do they linger in our minds long after the words have faded? Let's start by looking at the structure of a sticky story. At its core, a story needs a compelling beginning, middle, and end. The beginning hooks the audience, setting the stage and introducing the characters. The middle is where the tension builds, where obstacles arise and the stakes grow higher. And the end, well, that's where everything comes together, where resolutions are found and lessons are learned. Characters are the heart of any story. They are the vessels through which we experience the narrative. Think of Harry Potter, a young boy who discovers he's a wizard and embarks on a journey filled with friendship, courage, and sacrifice. His story resonates with us because we see ourselves in him. We root for him, we fear for him, and we celebrate his victories as if they were our own. Characters like Harry make stories sticky because they are relatable. They embody our hopes and fears, our strengths and weaknesses. Plot is the backbone of a story. It's the sequence of events that drives the narrative forward. A good plot is like a well-crafted puzzle, each piece fitting together to create a cohesive whole. It keeps us on the edge of our seats, eager to see what happens next. Consider the Chicken Soup for the Soul series. These books are filled with short, inspirational stories that tug at our heartstrings. Each story is carefully crafted to evoke emotion, to make us laugh, cry, and reflect. The simplicity and universality of these stories make them stick in our minds, long after we've turned the last page. Now, let's turn our attention to some real-world examples of storytelling in action. TED Talks are a masterclass in narrative power. Speakers use personal anecdotes, compelling data, and powerful imagery to craft stories that not only inform but also inspire. They take complex ideas and distill them into narratives that are both accessible and memorable. Take, for instance, the talk by Sir Ken Robinson on education. He weaves humor, personal stories, and thought-provoking insights to challenge our perceptions of learning. His talk is sticky because it combines intellectual rigor with emotional resonance. Another brilliant example of storytelling can be found in Apple's product launches. Steve Jobs was a master storyteller, and his presentations were more than just product demos. They were narratives. He didn't just sell products, he sold stories. Each launch was a journey, taking the audience from the problem to the solution, from the ordinary to the extraordinary. Jobs understood that the best way to make people care about a product was to make them part of a story of innovation, design, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. In conclusion, stories are the ultimate sticky medium because they tap into our emotions, our curiosity, and our desire for connection. They are the glue that binds ideas to our memory, making them resonate and endure. Whether it's a heartwarming tale from Chicken Soup for the Soul, the magical world of Harry Potter, the narrative power of a TED Talk, or the storytelling in an Apple product launch, stories have the power to transform ideas into something memorable and meaningful. So, the next time you want to make an idea stick, remember the power of stories. Craft a narrative that captivates, engages, and inspires. Create characters that resonate and plots that intrigue. And most importantly, tell a story that connects with your audience on a human level. After all, stories are not just told. They are experienced, and it's that experience that makes them stick. Thank you for joining me in this exploration of stories, the ultimate sticky medium. Until next time, keep crafting those narratives. And remember, the stories we tell have the power to change the world. All right, folks, we've taken quite the journey together, haven't we? We've dived deep into the world of sticky ideas, guided by the brilliant principles laid out by the Heath brothers in Made to Stick. Remember the 6 principles? Simple, unexpected, concrete, credible, emotional, and stories. Those little gems that make ideas not just memorable, but irresistible. Now let's take a moment to recap. We started with the idea that being simple isn't about dumbing down your message but finding the core. Think about those real-world applications we talked about, like the Got Milk campaign. Simple, yet so powerful it made us all think twice about skipping the milk aisle. Then we ventured into the unexpected, where we learned that surprise gets our attention and curiosity keeps it. Remember the story of the Will It Blend series? Who would have thought blending an iPhone could turn into a viral sensation? Being concrete helps us understand and remember ideas, while credibility gives us reasons to believe. Emotional appeals? Well, they make us care. And finally, stories are the glue that binds everything together, making messages not just memorable, but actionable. Speaking of stories, let me share a little personal one with you. After learning about these principles, I decided to apply them to my own work. I was giving a presentation, and instead of just listing facts, I wove in a story about a struggling local business that turned its fortunes around using these very principles. You should have seen the audience's faces. They were hooked. That's the power of made to stick in action. And it's not just me. Industries far and wide have been transformed by these ideas. Think about TED Talks. They're masterclasses in making complex ideas stick. Or how about nonprofits? They've learned that sharing stories of individual impact can be more powerful than any statistic. So what's next? I encourage you to take these lessons and run with them. Apply them to your next project, your next conversation. See how they change the way you communicate and influence. And hey, if you're hungry for more, there's a world of resources out there. Dive deeper into the book, explore case studies, or even attend workshops. The journey doesn't end here. It's just the beginning. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this thought. Ideas that stick don't just inform, they transform. They have the power to change minds, inspire action, and even move mountains. So go out there and make your ideas stick. Thanks for joining me on this adventure. Until next time, keep those ideas sticky and those conversations sparking. Catch you on the flip side.